So here's another computer I just recently got. You can see they put stickers on the front for the specs of it. So this is a Dell XPS 8700. It has an Intel i7 4700. So don't know if it's a 4770 or 4790. 1 terabyte storage, 16 gigs of RAM. Operating system Linux Mint. And then it says user, Linux password on this machine, username, user, password 1. So on the front we got the standard, just like the other XPS has a card reader, and then probably no Blu-ray again. It's a DVD-ROM. This slot here is blank, and then we have two USB 3.0s. Nice, right? Sound like someone was throwing shit out my window. Okay, maybe I'm hearing things. So there's no sticker for Windows 7. I think this probably came with Windows 8. That's nice of them, right? So it does have the Windows 7 sticker. Move to the side. Then you got ventilation on the side. You got the XPS here on the side. Same thing on the other side. Power button's on the top. Another thing I'll show you. The same thing with like the other computer. This is, I believe both of these are USB 2. Maybe 3. A microphone, headphone jack. And then don't know what video card it is. It didn't list it. So in the back, standard power supply. We got a test power supply button. So this is probably the original power supply. And then we got 2 USB ports, Ethernet, and then it says XPS. Windows. This is what I'm saying. It comes with Windows. Came with Windows 8. 4 USB 3.0s, an HDMI, a display port, and then we have audio. Then we have a video card, which is unknown as of right now. DVI, HDMI, and VGA. So, thumb screw is not seriously tight. At least it has they put a thumb screw in there. The case looks pretty decent, overall. But it is dusty. You can actually see fingerprints down here. A lot of dust on the heatsink. Here's our 1 terabyte hard drive. No other drives in here. We do have 16 gigs of RAM, but it is 4 gig sticks. I can't tell what that video card is. It's a red PCB, could be anything. Looks like more of an NVIDIA card, probably another Quadra. So we got a Wi-Fi card in here. Got another slot for an M.SATA connector. Okay, so we got another one with one of their better power supplies. I say that because I already see 2 6 pins coming off the power supply. So what do we got here? Another 460 watt power supply. So we got another system with a 460 watt power supply in it. So it is dusty, dirty. Another system I had to fully take apart and clean. And everything else looks pretty good. The DVD-ROM's here. This is here. Yeah, everything else seems good, and has the bigger cooler, not the smaller one. You see what this if this turns on or not. It does say Linux Mint, so we'll have Linux Mint again on the system. Hooking through DVI. Mouse and keyboard's hooked in. There's no power button for the power supply. So we do that, and I do have the other disc here. So this has the Windows 10. We'll try this. I can never remember what's on there. And I booted off it a couple times, and I'm the one who installed it. Can't remember. So just hit the power button and see what we get. You can see that booting up. Okay, there's the Dell logo. The Linux Mint logo's coming out. See, we got another one of these crappy slow hard drives and not a decent hard drive. Yeah, this is the second one in a row. Like, the other Dell XPS that come with a power cord. This is another one. It did not include a power cord, which they even put in the listing that it comes with a power cord. So yeah, I'm gonna go back through all of them and just write them like, hey, you know, I didn't receive a power cord, because this is kind of getting outrageous now. You could say, oh, it's just a power cord, but I have bought within the last 2 months probably 40 computers from them, and probably 30 of them said they came with a power cord. So if I got to replace a power cord, that's an extra $30. That's $30 I'm out. So that little amount adds up. And they said the password was 1. So yeah, that adds up. Over time, that adds up. If you're just buying like 1 or 2 computers from them every year, then that little power cord thing wouldn't make a difference. But if you're like me that buys a lot off of them, and they list as a power cord being in it, and then you don't get one, it's like, well, your listing was wrong. It's okay. You can see it booting up and running from here. I still gonna try booting from the other drive too, and see what, you know, see if Windows boots up and see if it's the same version as that I have on here, because there's no real logos. You know, you don't have the Windows key anymore on these Windows 8 systems. They took the sticker off of it because it's already attached to the motherboard. So with most of them, it's usually already upgraded. So this has probably been upgraded to Windows 10. So I will reinstall Windows 10. I'll do the same like with the other one. I'll probably just dual boot this system with Linux Mint and Windows 10. Just shut this down. So the system's powered off. Just unhook this. Use these cables for the hard drive to hook in the SSD. So this is the Samsung 120 gig SSD. So we'll try to boot into this. You know, I haven't won any auctions lately, but I still have another computer that's coming that's been like almost 2 weeks and they haven't even shipped it yet. Saying no boot device found. So yeah, I'll pause the video for now, and then I'll get this up and running, and then I'll resume the video. This legacy instead of UEFI, so I had to change that in the settings too. But I'm gonna get a little bit closer up. And I don't know how good the camera's gonna pick up on how dirty it is, but especially with the fan moving. Let's kind of stop this for a minute. You can kind of not see the cooler. It isn't super dirty, but it definitely is going to be pulled apart because this is what I do. Zoom in here. Okay, seems like you can see it pretty decently. So I did that and then let it set for a little while. Let Windows obviously do the install for the drivers. Alright. So for the video card, we actually have a card I never have. I haven't had one of these cards before. So it's an NVIDIA GeForce GT 635. I personally never had one before, but if you had one, list in the, tell us what kind of performance you got out of it, or what did you use it for? Like, is it going to be good for gaming? Obviously, I just got the system, just booted it in. I haven't tested it for anything. It is has 1 gig of VRAM on it. So here's all this stuff again, because the cards, I don't have a flash drive hooked in, so here is the SSD, obviously going to show up. And here's our 16 gigs of RAM. We're running at 1600 megahertz, 404, so we have 4 gig sticks of RAM. Guess it's kind of nice. I don't have any. I only have one 8 gig stick, so I really couldn't do too much for that. So this system does have 16 gigs of RAM, a 460 watt power supply, so you could add a better video card to this. A 1 terabyte hard drive, which I'm going to pull this drive from here, and I'm going to put that in the i7 2600. Yeah, the i7 2600 system. I'm going to put this 1 terabyte hard drive in it, because I'm going to put a 250 gig SSD in this system. Then that 500 gig hard drive that's in that other system, I'll also put that in here. So this system will have a 256 gig SSD and a 500 gig hard drive. And that other system will have a 1 terabyte hard drive. It seems pretty decent. And then that obviously could that could change at any time, because I'm still waiting for that other system. Only thing I know about it I bought it because I was going to use the i5 that I used for a different system. So really the purpose I bought that for is not there anymore, unless I go with that other system and I put the i5. I definitely not going to put a K on that. I'd rather put the K on the HP system that I have, because that board looks worse. The VRMs are worse off, you ask me, than the VRMs that are actually on this board even. Like, it's like a really cheap board. But yeah, everything on here is functioning. You see, I don't need to go there. One other thing, it says it has updates that needs to be turned off. So it says Windows, it doesn't have the logo saying Windows that needs to be activated. So you just check here, activation status. So this system is activated with Windows 10 Home. So obviously this will be going to Windows 10 Home, because most people want it, and maybe even do a force update to, upgrade to Windows 11 on this system. Maybe not though. Rather see Windows 10. It still has support for, a year and 10 months. By then you'll want to be replacing your computer anyways to something newer, at least to 8 gen or higher. By then an 8 gen or Ryzen 2000 series. I guess you gotta watch out with 2000 series, because even if Windows says it supports it, you'll get to a certain point with updates and then all of a sudden it says your CPU isn't supported, but it's on a supported list from Microsoft that it would work. I don't get that, but every 8th gen I had works. You do all the updates, doesn't tell you that. So by the time you will need to upgrade, 8th gen CPUs, 8th gen CPUs, 8th gen computers will be way cheaper. So by then I'll probably be getting 8th gen like crazy. Everyone will need that. Maybe the price will kind of come up because everyone's trying to upgrade to the cheapest point that they could, at least to keep Windows 11 going. To get a supported operating system. But then the time you do that, Windows 11 will probably just about be out of support too. But I'm not gonna make this too too long. I don't know what the other part of this video was, but we can see it's activated with Windows 10 Home. You know, like, let's kind of zoom in for you can see a little better. I'll stop this cooler. You can see, you know, how dirty the cooler is from the outside of the blades and inside. That's like the worst part. Like, so I'll clean all this up. You know, I'll do a light cleaning first of the CPU and the cooler and the video card. We'll see what the temperatures are. Obviously, everything's still going to be pulled out of this system. So we'll zoom back out because it's been zoomed in forever. And then move over here. But everything will be moved out of this case and cleaned. You know, like I said, it's going to depend on the temperatures of the CPU and the video card, if I change the thermal paste or not, if they're staying cool. Like I'll run what, Cinebench R2024 and see what the temperatures are. That's going to run a minimum of 10 minutes. It's going to run the system at the CPU hard for that 10 minutes. And usually it's a little bit more than 10 minutes, unless you're lucky and you got the render done and it's like 30 seconds, and then 30 seconds in that last render is whatever your last render is. So if you like just finish the render, that image it shows, and you have 20 seconds left, now you got to do that whole thing still. Like, you're done, the timer's done, you got to render the whole thing. Is rendering the image again, so you'll run more than 10 minutes. On average, you'll definitely, unless you get a system that just meets that time that you can get that last thing, like you're almost done and it's over. It's like, okay, 10 seconds, but you have like 15 seconds left to actually run. The timer runs out, you have 5 more seconds, and then you're done. I only seen that a couple times, but yeah, I'll cut this short. The second part of this video, so this is going to be part 1. The second part of this video will be fully cleaned. Maybe even instead of putting, I don't know, instead of putting that 1050 Ti into the i7 4790K system that's a custom build, I just put the 1050 Ti in this build, since it is a good CPU, good RAM, you know, and then I could use this video card into something else. No, yeah, like I can use that in the HP that's down here, this video card, so that has an i5 3450, I think it is, and 8 gigs of RAM. So I could put this video card into that system, or I could just leave it like it is now, fully clean it, get Windows installed on it, and then call it at that. Like, you know, pull the video card out, resell it, whatever. You know, leave that in the comments below. But by then, because how many videos I have booked up, this system will probably be gone already. But yeah, I'm gonna call it at that. This is gonna be part 1. Part 2 will be of the system fully cleaned out, and that will be a shorter video, obviously. Okay, thank you for watching.